bitch, I cannot believe I missed that. Oh my mother of fucking Christ and Lord and God and Satan and Devil, interchangeably. He is titular after all. Holy fuck. Holy fuck! I can't believe I just did that, man. I choked an N, Q, K, every fucking letter of the alphabet. Pour yourself a bowl of goddamn alphabet soup. I choked in that solo. Except R. No R chokes, no verse 4. That is fucking insane. All that practice, dude. I've gotten so consistent with R and practicing verse 4 alongside it. It paid off, man. I cannot overstate how important this is to me. This is, in my opinion, undeniably the hardest song in the franchise. DLC included. There's just so much going on in this song. I never thought I would be saying the hardest section in this song, by a mile, is verse 2. But it absolutely is. It is a goddamn slot machine, and I don't understand why. This verse 2 makes Sudden Death's verse 2 look like it's bitch. It just, I can't even explain it. It just either ends on an up strum or a down strum, and you just have to get lucky. And that's getting lucky on top of hitting that strumming speed. And admittedly, a lot of the reason for that is probably because is from my strum method, which is placing the my thumb on top of the bar perpendicular and just vibrating my arm. But even when I have very precise control over that, it just doesn't seem to matter. And speaking of strumming, I honestly am just in utter disbelief of how consistent I've gotten at Georgia Theme Lead 1. Not saying that I can like nail it every time, but it really is not uncommon for me to hit it 3 times in a row, which is just, oh my god, like, this is something that not only that I've been practicing, you know, like I started practicing this song seriously in like 2011. I got up to like 800k on it, but I don't really know why I was doing that. I'm saying that just because I had no delusions of ever getting this FC in my life. I never thought I would see this screen in my fucking life. And I'm dead serious when I say that. This is fucking incredible. And, you know, when I started to get consistent with the strumming, or, you know, even just the very first time I hit Georgia Theme Lead 1, especially in a run, that thought came in the back of my head, like, holy shit, I can actually do this. And from there, like, you know, doing runs and just even practicing the solos, practicing my 50 fucking hours in verse 2, bit of an exaggeration, but I spent so much time in verse 2 trying to get any semblance of consistency out of it, pretty much to no avail. But yeah, so, you know, after I hit that the first time, I was just kind of riding this high of this thing that I never thought I would be able to do is within my grasp. And, you know, over the last week that I've been playing this, it actually hasn't been a week since I've done that. It's been probably 3 days since that happened, 3 to 4 days, but that feeling has just slowly subdued and drained, and this became more and more of a chore, and I felt like by the end of this, I was just not even going to have any satisfaction out of it. But not having any solo R or verse 4 chokes, I think I'm more elated than I ever thought that I would be. The Q choke was as bad, if not worse, because that's a spot that you just never expect to miss in. Well, at least the spot that I missed in. I made it past the sweeps, past the strums, and I just missed in the dumbest spot. And I fucked up my method again this run, and I possibly should have missed. I don't know, man. I don't know what I can even say about this. Last year, right about this time, I FC'd, I think, man, this might be like to the day or a couple days after when I FC'd Smash Hits Flames on PS2. And I said in that video that that was my best FC, and it might forever be my best FC, but I fucking topped it today. And this will probably be forever my best FC. This is so unreal, man. All of these years. I mean, obviously I took like a decade off, a decade break from this series from about 2011, 2012 to 2023. But even still, I said in the Soothsayer video that that was like a top 5 time investment song along with the Dragon Force pack, and I don't know how this song really slipped my mind, but this is definitely up there. This might be number 1 at this point. It's probably either this or Flames, but probably this, man. And speaking of that Soothsayer video, man, Tom Morello is apparently my lucky charm. Obviously, I'm just doing this through quick play, and both of these, again, like for Soothsayer, it was a long time coming. For this, it was, forever coming. Oh my god. I do want to touch on a few methods that I have in this song, just because, maybe it could help someone. My verse 2 method that I ended up using, first of all, I want to say that for my strumming method, placing my thumb on top of the bar, there seems to be, I don't know, it's just by chance that every song that I've used this for so far takes advantage of this, but there's like 2 individual notes, both before Georgia Theme Lead 1 strumming starts and before the verse 2 like major chord chunk start, and that's where I put my thumb on the bar and then I just down strum and then up strum those 2 individual notes, just so that getting into the vibration strum is much more natural, much more seamless. So that's how I start that. And the way that I was able to get best some form of consistency out of verse 2 is by, I didn't want to do this, but ending on the yellow-blue chord sustain and then just holding the strum bar down through that and then starting the next set of strums on an up strum. And the reason I didn't want to do that is because there's 7 strums after that sustain, which if you start a new set of strums ends on a down strum, and not only that, but the yellow-blue chords end on down strum. And to me, ending on a down strum is always preferred, but I don't know if it was just snap. I mean, I'm sure part of it was like snapback, why I always overstrummed after the verse 2 sustain, but part of it's just because this section is just fucked beyond belief. But I don't know. That's the best way I was able to get consistency out of that. Oh my god, I completely forgot. This run, honestly, I should have missed in Victory Solo A on just these individual single strums before the like downward scales start. I just completely messed up my fingering for that, and I straight up should have missed. I just forgot about that until now. Wow. I guess there's really not much of a point talking about most of my other methods. Victory Solo K, I alt tap all the way down, and that took me so long to get comfortable with, and it was very strange because after I finally kind of ingrained it, even though it's such a weird, complicated method that I never felt like would ingrain itself, it just clicked after a while, and not only was it just consistent, I could just kind of do it on command, but it held up, and pretty much all of these runs it held up. The only reason I really had the first K choke is because I just got ahead of myself mentally, and I started descending. I started a descending pattern before the descending scales began. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Obviously, I anchor green the entire time, which kind of makes it more complicated because you're doing a combination of single and alt taps. But I don't know. You might as well, at the same time. It's like you might as well take advantage of the infinite front end engine. So this brings me to 2 songs left in the series, plus DLC that I have, which are, of course, in the theme of this song, Dueling Banjos and I'm the One. And I'm actually really curious how those 2 songs are going to go after my progress with, especially Georgia Theme Lead 1. I feel like that stamina that I built up is going to help tremendously with Dueling Banjos, but also just with I'm the One, just pushing myself to the limit there. This engine doesn't take advantage of, or it doesn't really work the same in my experience, I guess, with strumming early in those strumming sections. In the later games in like the World Tour engine, it seems like you can really get ahead of those fast strumming parts, but in this game it doesn't really seem to work that way. And I thought maybe that was part of the reason I was having such a hard time with verse 2, but I don't actually think that was because I went back so many times on my timings for starting that I don't think that had anything really to do with it. But yeah, all that is to say, I'm going to be very curious how these next 2 songs go now that I've done this. I just can't fucking believe this, man. I just cannot believe this. This is the greatest gaming accomplishment I have ever had and may ever will have. And again, just never thought I'd be able to do it. Truth be told, this could have gone a lot worse. I feel like it went so terribly, this grind, just because of verse 2, and because, the problem with having a section that's so inconsistent like that is that it makes everything else after it so much harder, because your nerves just eat you alive. And so when I was still really inconsistent with verse 2, like especially inconsistent, Devil Solo was just fucking brutal. C, D, F especially, and H, like they all just killed me. But when I finally started to get some semblance of consistency, not only getting past verse 2, but just over time, again, I kept getting better and better at Georgia Theme Lead 1. And then I started to actually make it to past Devil Solo, frequently enough to where the nerves kind of started to die down. And then all that consistency from practicing these sections, particularly Victory Solo, just ad nauseum, just finally kicked in and pulled me through. I guess there is one other song that I might consider doing in the series, which is Triplet. Honestly, I would probably just do that through emulation, which sounds fucking awful, but I don't know. It is a song, and it's in the series, and I do technically have access to it. The other thing that I could do just to, fully finish off GH3, because the songs that I'm missing on this game are, Johnny, I Hardly Knew Ya, which I feel... I know that the song's kind of notorious and might be a bit of a luck fest, but whatever. It is absolutely... It will not be a big deal after this. Something I might consider doing if I can is just doing those on vanilla GH3 PC. If I can just get those, downloaded. That, and I think there's a couple Metallica songs, I think the Judas Kiss is the main one that I'm remembering. And again, that has to do with strumming, like every other song that I had to this point. So maybe I'll do those just to fully finish off this game in its entirety. As you can see, I didn't even beat my high score there. I think my star power just went off in R, at the end of R, which was fine, but yeah. Gold fucking stars. I obviously have done this. I think I had like second place behind Chris when I first FC'd the song. It was, yeah, it was one of my better, like, earlier FCs and scores along with it. But I'll just do a little show here of, because, you know, just as far as the full series stuff goes, again, I've videoed this. This stuff is obviously easy. I've already done it. I just had a lot of save issues. But, yeah, I think I have everything notable in this game done in quick play. I'm just not going to go through, like, all this bullshit again. Stuff that I know that I've FC'd. Yeah, these are all done in quick play, so whatever. I'm actually curious if I have any... Okay, so I have no career progress. This is what I was talking about, with just losing a bunch of save data. Although, A and B... Hold up. Nope. So yeah, I don't think I can really drag this out anymore. Again, I just cannot possibly overstate this accomplishment for me personally. It makes me want to fucking cry, honestly. As embarrassing and sad as that is to say, and I'm sure that if I ever watch this back, I'll cringe when I get to this part, but I just can't say enough about it, man. I've been thinking, like, since this came into my grasp of possibility, I've been thinking about it. Like, I'm pretty sure I dreamed about this in the past week. Sad as that is to say, just what I think about when I get up, when I go to bed, and it's over, man.